Kind of going back to like, I don't know, like how music has developed since then, especially like punk rock. And I was thinking about this also the other day, like you kind of shoot, you know, whatever's new, like you kind of just like shoot it down right. Like I can't even imagine like, even if you made rock, like the 70s to 80s, like from what I understand about like rock music and that, because the 70s was like an interesting time of like music, right? And then come the early 80s, and then there's like this dirty, filthy punk rock. But then mainstream is like, new wave, and then hair metal and Motley Crue and all that. And it's like, it's very interesting to like see different music really reflects society, right? So you get the hip hop thing and all that going on, and disco pretty much died, and then like kind of like, oh, what's outrageous? And it's like, obviously hip hop's outrageous, and you got the gangster rap that's like that's proper outrageous, and the hair metal stuff is originally outrageous, and then it gets corny and silly.
Yeah.
And then 90s come along, and the grunge, and then that's like edgy and whatever, and then that gets boring, and then obviously then you have like the hip hop changes, and then it's interesting because now like music is so meshed together now, right? There's so many genres and so many people doing different really cool things. Like music now is still really cool, but we don't really have like like the music scenes. Like they're there, but I don't know. It's different. It's different.
It's different in our. It's different than this country, man. It's still thriving and probably booming in places in Europe, places in the States would be much different. Almost like how we used to be here and have festivals here. We don't have festivals here and all that. But more to the like.
We have Ribbon and Vines.
Yeah, that's not really a festival. That's fucking shit. The thing is with like what Henry's part of in the punk movement, right? So the punk movement to me, and this is my personal view of it, and it's probably somewhat true, and the hip hop culture, I see them so married together because of its really anti-establishment, really anti-government. Hip hop culture was based off, that's a gangster rap, was basically like you've pigeonholed Black America into this thing, and they got a voice, and now you have to hear it. And the punks were the same, and that's where I see punk music was kind of like they were also a voice going, "Hang on, man, we know what's going. We're not that stupid," and they were really sticking it to the government, and then the same.
Well, it's so interesting that like I know. So I listened to the podcast that Ice Cube did with Joe Rogan recently, and he said that they got given an FBI letter saying that they're like the record label needs to stop releasing it because this is like a threat to society. Sex Pistols had pretty much the same thing. Yeah, like the Queen was like, I can't believe they're saying this and they're going out and doing this, but it's like, what do you think's going to happen when you push people down like that, like so much? Like, from your background, you know, if you, like, say, for example, in the UK, which I'm more familiar with, like the council flats, you're born to fail. You're born to fuck up. So what do you think they're going to, you know, and then you're treated like shit your whole life. You think you're going to be happy? No.
Yeah.
Just suck it up and deal with it. It's like, fuck that. And then I imagine with like, and in LA, like with the, you know, in the NWA and a lot of those like Compton and the kind of the hood, I guess, you know, like same sort of thing. Like, you know, the police take advantage and they get treated like shit and no one respects them. It's like, yeah, they're gonna be pissed.
Well, that's the thing.
They're gonna
like,
be pissed.
Segregate Black America, like push them into one area, leave them there, give them fucking no hope. And then with the punks, it was like, serve your country, go to war, do as we say, do it, Uncle Sam. The punks were like, fuck off. Like, we're going to fight you.
You're going to sending me to my death.
Yeah, that's where I see like punk rock from like Henry Rollins' era, punk rock then, and then when the hip hop culture started up like quite big, I was like, they're actually really similar what they're saying.
That is very similar.
It's two totally different genres of music, but I can see like punk rock and hip hop, just the original hip hop and stuff is so, I don't know, the lyrics are it's the same content. Two different reasons from two different fields of people.
But it's about the same
it's
concept.
Just like stop telling us what we can and can't do and let us have a voice. And I guess that's why you have bands like Body Count, which is like, the same sort of thing like that, really, I guess. But yeah.
I think it's important that's always something so important with music is you have social commentary. It is important. And all views should be said. I don't think it matters what the view is. I think it should just be said. you know, obviously being extremely hateful against people isn't great. And like, what was like Gigi Allen? Like, that guy's fucked. But like,
Fuck, man.
just throwing his shit around and saying he hates everybody.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But I think, yeah, obviously being really hateful. But I think questioning your, you know, like the not just the government, but social rules, how things are in society, pushing back. Because, you know, in the Western world, we have free speech, you know, and it's important to remember, like, yeah, we got to hold on to that because it's so easy to get that taken away.